Hello everyone, and then welcome to another video. Okay, so in this video we'll be treating matrix algebra. Okay, but we'll be focusing on multiple choice questions. Okay, so you might end up getting either a multiple choice question or theory based question. Okay, so that's the disclaimer. So once you maybe go meet multiple choice questions, and then you implement these techniques I'm about to introduce to you, you will be able to at least get something above 75 or 80 or whatever. Okay, but it's better you also learn the theory based, okay, the main calculation portion, so that you don't find yourself wanting in the examination hall. Okay, so without further much ado, I would urge you to subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notification, and then like the video, share, so that we get pushed to other students who might need this final video. Okay, so this will be the final video for this semester. Okay, their final, so that it will help with your final exams. Okay, help boost your mark for your final exams, because you already know that last days are dangerous. Okay, right, so let's dive right into this video. Okay, so we have to solve different MCQs. Okay, so I'll take you through how to smartly solve each and every one of them. In case you meet a similar question, you know how to go by that. Okay, right, so we have to find what's the sum of the eigenvalues of the matrix 1 2 2 1. Okay, and then you've been given some answers. Okay, so you know that finding the eigenvalues, that's equal to what? The determinant. Okay, the determinant of the matrix. Okay, and then you subtract that from the identity. Okay, multiply that by the value. Okay, and then you equate that to 0. So that's the main formula we'll be implementing over here. Okay, right, so we have what? 1 2 2 1. Okay, and then we just subtract that from what? The identity multiplied by what? The eigenvalue. Okay, so we have the eigenvalue 0, and then we have 0 eigenvalue. Okay, and then you equate that to 0. Okay, now so let's try doing the simple algebra. We have 1 minus the eigenvalue, and then we have what? 2, then we have 2, and we have 1 minus the eigenvalue. Okay, right, so you proceed from here. This is still equated to 0, right? So we have to take the determinant of this matrix. Okay, so once you want to take the determinant of this matrix, you just the simple multiplication, and then you subtract. Okay, so we have 1 minus the eigenvalue. Okay, you multiply that, and then you subtract that from what? 2 by 2, that's what? 4, and then you equate that to 0. Okay, so you do your simple cross multiplication. We have 1 over here. Okay, this by this will give you 1, this by this will give you what? Minus 1 lambda, and then we have what? Minus lambda by 1 minus lambda, and then we have what? Minus lambda minus lambda, that's what? Positive lambda squared. Okay, and then you have what? Minus 4, equate that to 0. So let's do the simplification. So we have what? When you solve this, you have lambda squared. Okay, so this will give us what? Minus 2, that eigenvalue, and then we have what? Minus 3. Okay, after that we just equate this to 0. Okay, so now we have to find what? The values for lambda. Okay, so let's see how you go by that. Pick up your calculator. Okay, pick up your calculator, and then you just punch your equation. So this is in the form of what? A quadratic equation. So you just need lambda 1 lambda 2, that's eigenvalue 1 eigenvalue 2. So you have what? Mode, and you choose what? The equation, that's 5, and then you choose what? The quadratic. Okay, so we have what? Coefficient of lambda squared is what? 1. Okay, and then we have what? Minus 2, and then what? minus 3. Okay, so we have the first value to be 3 and then the other value to be minus 1. Okay, so we have 3 and then what, minus 1. Okay, so these are the what, eigenvalues. Now we have to take the what, the sum. Okay, so when you take the sum of this eigenvalue, so we have what, 3 minus 1 will give us what, 2. So the answer is what, B. Okay, right. So let's proceed. So we have to take the what, or we have to find the product of the eigenvalue with the same matrix. Okay, so there's the product. So product means you are multiplying. Okay, so we have what, 3 times minus 1. Okay, that will give us what, minus 3. Okay, now and then we have the eigenvalue of the matrix. This is given by, now we have to just rewrite this in the form of what, 2 different sets. Okay, so from here we know that we have 3 and then what, minus 1. Okay, so just from the answers you could notice that we have what, 3, positive 3, 0, and then we have what, minus 1, 0. Okay, right, as simple as that. Now let's proceed to the next question. Okay, right, so we have another question over here. Okay, right, so we have to solve the system of equations. Okay, you have to solve this system of equation. This is quite simple. Okay, there's no need to even put pen on paper. That's why I initially stated that you have to try to learn smart. Okay, you don't need to put pen on paper. There are 2 ways of solving this equation. Okay, or solving this system of equation. It's either you use back calculation, okay, or use your calculator. Okay, so I will talk about back calculation in another question. Okay, but let's just use the calculator to arrive at my final answer. Okay, so I'll introduce back calculation when we meet another question. Okay, which might look similar to this one. Okay, right, so let's just use a calculator to arrive at our answer. Okay, so let's clear everything from the memory. Okay, right, now you have to punch this. Okay, so choose the click on mode and then you choose what, a equation. Okay, you have 3 equations. Okay, so you have to choose the preferred equation. So let's choose 2. That's what, 3 systems of equations. Okay, and then let's punch our values. Okay, so we start from here. So we have x, y, z equals 1. So each have coefficient of 1. Okay, so we have 1, 1, 1, and then equal to what, 1. Okay, and then we move on to the second one. So we have 1 minus 1, 1, and then 3. Okay, so the coefficient of x is 1, coefficient of y is minus 1, coefficient of z is 1, and then it's equal to what, 3. Okay, and then the last one is what, 1, 1 minus 1, and then minus 1. So coefficient of x is 1, coefficient of y is 1, coefficient of z is minus 1, and then the final is equal to what, minus 1. Okay, right, so let's see our final answer. So we have 1, minus 1, and 1. Okay, so we have x, y, and z values. Okay, so we have 1, minus 1, and 1. So we have this 1, minus 1, and 1. So most definitely you could notice that C is the final answer. Okay, so we have 1, minus 1, and 1. Right, so let's proceed to the next question. Okay, so we have another question. Okay, right, so we have to solve for a, b, n, and m if this form of a matrix, okay, is equal to this 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, right, so we have to find the values for a, b, n, and what, m. Now this is where back calculation comes in. Okay, you could use back calculation to arrive at your final answer without going through any stress. Okay, right, so this is how you solve by implementing back calculation. Okay, so back calculation is all about using the already given answer, okay, or the answer given to arrive at the question. Okay, we are using the answers given to arrive at the question. That's what we refer to as back calculation. Okay, now so let's choose any of these possible answers as our final answer. Okay, and try to find out whether we will arrive at the question. Okay, so this is the main question. Okay, so when you input these missing values, you arrive at this 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, so we are using the answers to get the question. That's what we refer to as back calculation. Okay, so let's say we have let's choose any of them. Let's start from a reasonable one, because this, okay, a minus b has to be equal to 8, okay, and then b plus n has to be equal to 1. So let's choose a reasonable option. Okay, let's say a is what, 5, okay, and then b is what, minus 3. Okay, so 5 minus 3 will give us what, positive 8. Okay, and let's check whether this will also be true. Okay, so b is minus 3, okay, and n is what, 4. So minus 3 plus 4 give us what, positive 1. So it means that we've already gotten an answer. Okay, so our answer is D. Okay, answer is D. This is what I am trying to say. So we have A to be what, we are choosing D as our final answer. Okay, so A is 5, B is what, minus 3, okay, N is what, 4, and then what, M is most definitely 1. So we have, this has to be equal to this portion. Okay, so A minus B has to be equal to 8. So let's check. A minus B has to be what, equal to 8. Okay, so A is what, 5 minus what, and B is what, minus 3. So from here you know that A is what, most definitely equal to 8. Okay, A minus B is most definitely equal to 8. Now let's check for the second part. So we have B plus N. Okay, B plus N has to be equal to what, 1. Okay, so we have B, which is minus 3, plus what, N, which is 4. Okay, so most definitely we know that B plus N is equal to what, 1. And then let's check for 3M. Okay, 3M plus N also has to be equal to what, 7. Okay, so we have 3M is what, 1, and then we have what, N, which is 4. So when you do the computation, you notice that 3 times 1 plus 4 will give us what, 7. So you could also check for 1A minus 4M, which has to be equal to what, 6. Okay, right. So let's proceed to the next question. Right. Okay, so we have, so you can also implement back calculation over here, because this is what we just solved. Okay, we've already solved this question, okay, from here, from our previous question. Okay, so this is the same thing, this is the same question. Okay, question 51. Then we ended up with our final answer towards D. Okay, right. So let's try solve for question 52. So let's A to be equal to what, this matrix, okay, 3 by 3 matrix, and B to be equal to this 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, now we have to compute the trace of what, A minus 3B, where TR is equal to the trace. Okay, I already stated that. Okay, so now let's find A minus 3B. Okay, and then we try calculate the trace. Okay, so we have to find what, the trace of what, A minus 3B. Okay, right, this is what we are trying to find. So now let's try solve that. We have what, let's pick up our calculator. Okay, right, let's clear everything. Right, so let's put it in the matrix mode. So we have 6. So we choose one matrix. This is what, a 3 by 3 matrix. So you choose 1, and then we have what, let's insert the matrix. So we have 6, 2, minus 1. Okay, then we have what, 0, sorry, we have 0, minus 1, 3. Okay, and then we have 0, minus 1, 0. Okay, so this is our first matrix. Let's input the second matrix. Okay, we have, let's choose another matrix. So let's choose data 2. Okay, and then let's choose matrix 2. Okay, so that's also a 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, so let's input our value. So we have what, 1, 0, 2. Okay, and then we have 0, 1, 4. Okay, and then we have 0, 0, 3. Okay, right. So now let's find what, A minus 3B. Okay, So let's find that. So we have what? Matrix A, that's 3 minus 3 times what? Matrix B. Okay, matrix B. Okay, let's find that. Okay, so you can notice that we have what? 3, 2 minus 7, 0 minus 4 minus 9, 0 minus 1 minus 9. Okay, so let's write that over here. Okay, 3, 2 minus 7, 0 minus 4 minus 9, 0 minus 1 minus 9. Okay, so let's produce that over here. So we have what? 3, 2 minus 7. Okay, 0 minus 4 minus 9. Okay, and then it was what? 0 minus 1 minus 9. Okay, so let's check. Okay, we have 3, 2 minus 7, 0 minus 4 minus 9, 0 minus 1 minus 9. Yo, that's correct. Now, so let's find a trace. Okay, so you know that trace, okay, trace is just the diagonal. Okay, so we have to sum up 3 minus 4 minus 9. Okay, so when you sum up that, we have 3 minus 4 minus 9. So when you sum this up, what will we get? We have what? 3 minus 4 minus 9. That's what? Minus 10. Okay, this is minus 10. You can also confirm that. Okay, so let's try confirm that. Okay, so we have 3 minus 4 minus 9, right? So that's minus 10. So our final answer is what? D. Okay, so that's what? Minus 10. Okay, it's as simple as that. So let's proceed. Right, so we have to find what? The determinant of what? Matrix A. Okay, you have to find the determinant of matrix A. So again, you can use back calculation. Okay, but with this approach, you have to be smart. Okay, you have to work smart. So let's, instead of using A, B and all that, let's just substitute the A, B and all that with what? A reasonable value. Okay, or reasonable value. So let's say A is equal to 2. Okay, and then B is equal to what? 1. Okay, A is equal to 2, B is equal to 1. So let's try solve the determinant of this. Okay, so the determinant of the matrix will now be equal to what? 2 minus 1. Okay, this A minus B, so 2 minus 1 is 1. A is already 2. A is 2 over here, and then A plus B is what? 3. Okay, right. So let's solve the determinant of this 2 by 2 matrix. You can either solve it manually or just use the calculator. Okay, so let's just use the calculator. Okay, that will be much faster. Okay, so we have what? Let me clear everything out and then let's choose our mode. So matrix, that's 6, and then matrix 1. This is what? A 2 by 2. Okay, so 5. Right, so we have what? 1, 2, 2, and then what? 3. Okay, so let's try find the determinant of that matrix. Okay, so the determinant of matrix A. Okay, that's what? Minus 1. Okay, so when you solve this manually, you also end up with what? Minus 1. Okay, so that's what? The determinant of A. Okay, it's minus 1. Now let's check which of these answers will give us minus 1. Okay, so from here you could just notice that there is not an option because A is already 2, and from here you know that B is what? 1. Okay, so when you 1 squared is just 1, and then from here this is also not an option because A is 2, it cannot be 1. Let's look at D. Now D is what? Minus B squared. Okay, so this minus what? A is what? Sorry, B is what? 1. Okay, 1 squared. Okay, so this will give us what? Minus 1, which is the same as what? The answer we had. So most definitely D is the answer. Okay, so let's proceed to this is a similar question. Okay, this is the same as the one we initially solved. Okay, so just use this approach and then you end up with, sorry, I was referring to this question. Okay, so 52, just use the approach we use over here and then you end up with what? A similar answer over here. Okay, or you end up with what the right answer over here. Okay, right, you end up with the correct answer. Just use the same approach. Okay, use the same approach we use for question 52. Okay, for this question 52 to arrive at -10, and then you'll be able to arrive at the correct answer over here because it's this similar question. Okay, now let's proceed. Now you have to find the eigenvalues of what matrix A. Okay, so with finding the eigenvalues of matrix A, we just use a normal calculation approach. Okay, just as we use for what the 2 by 2 matrix. This is just a 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, so it's the same procedure. So you find the determinant of what A minus what the identity lambda equal to 0. Okay, so that's the same approach we'll be using. Okay, but this will be a bit longer because we'll be solving what we'll be trying to find 3 values. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, and then we have what 2, 1, 3, and then we have what 3. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so let's try simplify this further. So we have this will be equal to what 1 minus the lambda, 2, 3, and then we have what 2, 1 minus lambda, and then we have what 3, and then what 6 minus lambda. Okay, right, so let's try simplify this further. Okay, so we have to find what the determinant. Okay, so once we try find the determinant, we just bring this one out. So we have 1 minus the lambda. Okay, and then we have what 1 minus lambda. Okay, so we are using this portion. Okay, 1 minus lambda, 3, and then we have 3, and then what 6 minus lambda. Okay, so let's proceed. We have what 2. Okay, this is -2. Okay, and then we have what 2, 3, what 6 minus lambda. Okay, plus what 3. Okay, so we have 2, 1 minus the lambda. Okay, and then we have 3, and then what 3. Okay, now so let's try expand this. Okay, let's try expand this. So we have 1 minus lambda. Okay, it's equal to what? So let's try expand this. So we have when you multiply this by this, okay, 1 minus lambda and then 6 minus lambda, you end up with 6. Okay, so we are multiplying 1 minus lambda by 6 minus lambda. So we have what 1 minus lambda. Okay, 6 minus lambda. Okay, and then you subtract that by what 9. Okay, then you have 2, and then we have what 2 times 6 minus lambda. Okay, so we have 2 times what, so let me clean this one. So we have 2 times what 6 minus lambda, then minus what 9. Okay, minus 9, and then we have what plus 3. Okay, we have 2 by 3, that's 6, minus 3 times 1 minus lambda. Okay, right, so when you simplify these further, you end up with what, when you do the simplification, you end up with 1 minus lambda. Okay, multiplying what 6 minus lambda. Okay, minus 6 lambda. Okay, plus lambda squared. Okay, so that's, we are trying to simplify this further. We have minus 9 over here. Okay, and then we have what minus 2. Okay, so we have minus 2. Okay, and then open brackets, we have 12 minus 2 lambda. Okay, and then this will give us what? Minus 9. And then we have what? 3. Okay, we have what? 6 minus from here. Okay, so we have 6 minus 3. Okay, minus 3 lambda. Okay, right. So let's send this back. Okay, so when you do the simple expansion and all that, you end up with what? A specific expression as lambda squared. Okay, from here, from this expression we have what? Lambda squared minus 7 lambda. Okay, and then we have what? Minus 3 minus lambda cube. Okay, plus 7 lambda squared. Okay, and then we have what? Plus 3 lambda. Okay, minus 6. Okay, plus 4 lambda plus 9 lambda. That's from here. Okay, right. So when you do the simple when you simplify this further, okay, we have minus lambda cube over here, so we have minus 3 exponent 3, sorry, and then we have what? This plus that will give us what? 8 lambda squared. Okay, plus this by that, and that will give us what? 9 lambda. Okay, and then this minus 3 minus 6 positive 9 will give us what? 0. Okay, then let's equate this to 0. So let's just multiply negative 1 throughout. Okay, so we have lambda cube minus what? 8 lambda squared minus 9 lambda is equal to what? 0, or eigenvalue is equal to 0. So now let's try punch this on your calculator. Okay, try punch this on your calculator and let's see the final answer you arrive at. Okay, so we have okay, so we have this is a cubic equation. Okay, so we choose 4. Okay, option 4. So we have what? 1, okay, minus 8 and what? Minus 9. Okay, and then D is 0, already 0. Okay, so end up with what? 9 minus 1, 0. Okay, 9 minus 1 and what? 0. So we have the values to be what? 9 minus 1 and then 0. Okay, so these are our what? Eigenvalues. Okay, the eigenvalues. So 9 minus 1, 0. Let's check which one is the correct answer. Okay, so from here you can notice that we have 0 minus 1, 9 over here. Okay, so let me clean this one so that you see that. Okay, from here we have what? 0 minus 1, 9, which is the same as this. Okay, so the answer is what? D. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, right. So let's proceed to the next question. Right, so this is what? A 3 by, sorry, this is rather a 4 by 4 matrix. Okay, this is a 4 by 4 matrix, and then we have to find what? The determinant. So I got a message requesting that I choose a 4 by 4 determinant, how to find a 4 by 4 determinant. Okay, so let's see how we go by that. This is quite long, I won't lie to you, this will be very, very long. Okay, so let's try solve that. Okay, so from here, so right from here we have what? This is how you solve the determinant for a 4 by 4 matrix. Okay, so right from here we have, it's just like solving that for a 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, but a bit complicated. Okay, just follow me and then you understand. Okay, so from here you just pick 5 out. Okay, pick 5 out, and then just like the 3 by 3 matrix, after picking 5 out, anything below and beside the 5 doesn't count unless these ones. Okay, so we have what? 3, 1 minus 2. Okay, minus 7, minus 3, 9, and then what? Minus 2, minus 1, 4. Okay, right. Note that there is what? Plus, negative, plus, and negative. Keep that in mind. So we have minus 4. Okay, and then we have what? Minus 4. We have what? 2, 1 minus 2. Okay, from here. Okay, and then we have what? Minus 5, minus 3, 9. Okay, and then we have the last part, which is what? 1 minus 1, 4. Okay, now let's pick 2, positive 2. So we have what? 2. So we have so from there we have what? 2, 3 minus 2. Okay, and then we have minus 5, minus 7. Okay, 9, and then we have 1 minus 2, 4. Okay, that's when you pick 2, anything below and beside 2 doesn't count. So we have 2, 3 minus 2, minus 5, minus 7, 9, and then what? 1 minus 2, 4, just like what we've already written. Okay, and then we have what? Minus 1. Okay, open the same brackets. So we have what? 2, 3, 1. Okay, 2, 3, 1, minus 5, minus 7, minus 3. Okay, and then we have what? This minus, keep that in mind. And then we have 1 minus 2, and then what? Minus 1 from here. Okay, right. So again, this is what? This is another 3 by 3 matrix. So you have to break it down. Okay, try to break it down. So we have what? 5. We have 5. Okay, trying to break this down. Okay, so we have now we have 3. Okay, 3. So we have what? We are breaking this down. So we are concentrating on 3. So anything below and beside 3 doesn't count. So we have what? Minus 3, 9, and then we have what? Minus 1, 4. Okay, then minus 1. So we have what? Minus 7, 9, and then what? Minus 2, 4. Okay, minus 2, 4, and then we move on to what? Minus 2. Okay, that will give us what? Minus 7. Okay, minus 7, minus 3. Okay, minus 2, minus 1. Okay, right. So this will be that for what? 5. Now move on to this portion. Okay, minus 4. Okay, now we have what? Taking 2 into consideration. Okay, so we have 2. We have what? Minus 3, 9, and then we have what? Minus 1, 4. Okay, then move on to what? Minus 1. Okay, minus 1, we have what? Minus 5, 9, and then we have what? 1, 4. Okay, right. So let's proceed towards negative 2. We have what? Minus 5, minus 3. Okay, and then we have what? 1, minus 1. Okay, right. So let's proceed towards this portion. Okay, so let's close this long bracket. Okay, so we are here now 2 at point 2. So we have what? 2. That's why I initially stated that this is quite long, but once you pay attention, it will be quite easy. Okay, so we have what? So we are concentrating on 2. Okay, so we have minus 7, 9. Okay, and then we have what? Minus 2, 4. Okay, and then move on to what? 3. Okay, move on to 3. So we have minus 5, 9. Okay, and then we have what? 1, 4. Okay, and then you move on to what? Negative 2. Okay, so we have minus 5, minus minus 7, okay, and then we have 1 minus 2. So this will bring us to the end of this portion. So let's move on to what? Minus 1, okay. We have 2, right, and then we have minus 7 minus 3. So that's the portion for the minus 1, okay. So we have 2 and then what? Minus 7 minus 3, right. So we have minus 7 minus 3 minus 2 minus 1, okay, and then we have 3, okay. So we have minus 3, concentrating on 3, we have minus 5 minus 3 1 and what? Minus 1, okay, and then the last one is what? Positive 1, positive 1, and then we have that minus 5 minus 7 1 minus 2. Once you are doing this, you have to be very careful because you might miss some steps, okay. You might miss some steps, right. Let's proceed from there. Now the rest is just simple algebra, okay. The rest is just simple algebra. So we are starting from this portion, okay. So let me change the color so that they don't look the same, okay. So we are starting from 5, okay. So we have 5, okay, right. So 3 out, we have 3 out, so we have what? This by that will give us what? Minus 12, and then we have what? This by that will give us positive 9, okay, right. And then let's move on to this portion, okay. So we have minus 1, so this by that will give us minus 28, and then this by that will give us what? Positive 18, okay. That's minus 7 by 4, okay. And then let's move on to what? Minus 2. So we have minus 7 minus 1, okay, most definitely that's 7, and then we have what? Minus 3 minus 2, that's minus 6, okay. So this is that for 5, and then let me change the color for the next one, okay. So moving on to what? Minus 4, okay. Hope you could see, right. So we have what? 2 out, we have 2 out, and then we have what? 3 by minus 3 by 4, that's what? Minus 12, and then we have what? Minus 1 by 9, okay, that's positive 9, okay. We are taking the determinant, so kindly pay attention, okay. So we have what? Minus 1, this is what? Minus 5 on 4, that's minus 20, okay. And then we have what? 1 times 9, that's negative 9, and then we have what? That for negative 2. For negative 2 we have what? Minus 5 minus 1, that's positive 5, and then what? 1 times minus 1, that's what? Minus 3, sorry, that's what? Positive 3, okay, right. So let's proceed, okay. Let's proceed. So now we are at what? 2, okay, at point 2. So that's positive, okay. So this portion is positive, so we have what? Positive 2 out, okay, and then we have what? 2 multiplying what? Minus 28, okay, minus 7 4, that's minus 28, okay, and then minus 2 by 9, that's positive 18, okay. Close that, and then we have what? Minus 3, okay, minus 5 by 4, that's what? Minus 20, okay, and then we have 1 by 9, that's 9, negative 9. Then we proceed to what? Minus 2, right. So we have minus 5 minus 2, okay, that's positive 10, and then we have what? 1 minus 7, okay, that's positive 7, okay, right. So let's move on to this last portion, okay. So let me change again. Let me change the color. Right, so we have minus 1 out, minus 1 out, and then we have 2, okay, 2. So when you take the determinant of minus 7 minus 4, when you take the determinant of this, so we have what? Minus 7 minus 1, so that's positive 7. And then we have what? Minus 3 minus 2, that's what? Negative 6, okay. And move on to this portion, we have minus 3, okay. And then we have what? 5. Minus 5 minus 1 is 5. And then we have plus 3, okay. Minus 3 by 1. And then we have what? Plus 1 out. Minus 5 minus 2. Minus 5 times minus 2, okay. That's positive 10. And then minus 7 times 1, that's positive 7, right? So let's just do the simple computation. Now, when you punch the entire of this, okay, when you punch the entire of this on your calculator, okay, so from here to this portion, okay, you end up with what? Minus 1, okay, minus 1, okay. Now we have what? Minus 4 over here, okay, minus 4. So when you punch the entire of this on your calculator, you also end up with what? Positive 7, okay. Then we have what? Plus 2, okay. You can verify, okay. I'll verify shortly, but you can also verify. When you punch the entire of this on your calculator, okay, you end up with what? Positive 33, okay, right. And then you have minus 1, okay. And then when you punch the entire of this, okay, the entire of this expression on your calculator, you end up with what? Negative 5, okay, right. So let's punch the entire of this on our calculator and just let's find the final answer, okay, right. So we have that. Let's clear everything. Now let's punch this on our calculator. So we have 5 minus 1, okay, minus 4, 7, and then we have what? Plus 2 multiplying 33, okay. Then we have minus 1 minus 5, okay. So let's check the answer. Okay, so the answer will be what? 38, okay. So this is what? 38. So that's the final answer, okay. So from here you can notice that the final answer for our question is what? C, that's 38. So this is how you find what? The determinant of what? A 4x4 matrix, okay. Right, I hope this video was very helpful, and then I hope once you implement these techniques or shortcut tricks during your exams, final exams, you most definitely get a very good or very high mark, okay. Thanks once again for staying with me till the end of the video. Kindly subscribe in case this video was very helpful to you. Share to your friends, okay. Try sharing, okay. Sharing is caring, so share, like the video, and then I will see you in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.